everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
If I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed on.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
So on one hand, she deserves people waiting in line and getting paid for every streaming hour. But on the other, she doesn't need anyone's business.
Weird.
There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion. But the reality is she's just not stable, like the majority of people in Hollywood. They're just not stable human beings.
But how did it play out for the movie itself?
The studio released their Snow White remake starring Rachel Zegler, and in the process shattered more little girls' dreams than Harvey Weinstein. That's why no one bothered to show up. Empty theaters across the country tell the true story about this crime against cinema.
While enjoying the vibe and excitement of the streets of London.
Snow White bombs, breaks records for the lowest live-action remake opening ever. Let me say that again. Ever.
They're projected to lose between 2 and 400 million.
Behind the scenes, you guys know as well as I do that those executives are looking at that saying, Rachel Zegler can F right off.
If you're a studio, if you're a director, if you're a casting director, you've got to think twice or three times before hiring her.
Woke is a poison apple and Disney have had a big bite of it.
Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends. That's how bad it is right now.
What do you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it.
Yep, Rachel Zegler was caught in an airport, leaving the country in a hurry, and you won't believe where she went and why. In the wake of tremendous flop that is Snow White, Disney executives are reportedly in the full crisis mode. Emergency meetings were held to discuss Zegler's conduct and whether it had crossed legal lines. Rumors has it that the studio might even seek financial restitution from her due to the film's catastrophic performance. Insiders revealed that Disney was considering invoking morality clauses in Zegler's contract, which could potentially hold her financially accountable for the film's failure. Numbers are starting at $120 million, but it can go way up. Adding to the intrigue, reports coming in that she fled to Dubai, a location known for its financial privacy and favorable banking laws. This speculation suggested that Zegler could be attempting to hide money in a secret banking account, shielding her assets from Disney in the event that the studio sought financial restitution due to the film's catastrophic performance. The idea of her relocating to a place where financial transactions are less scrutinized fueled the narrative that she was not just escaping the public eye, but also taking steps to protect her financial future. The notion that she might be hiding in Dubai, a city often associated with luxury and secrecy, added a layer of drama to the unfolding story. Ironically, this was the same country where she could be perceived as retreating to a patriarchal society, despite her previous vocal advocacy for feminism and women's rights. Zegler had positioned herself as a champion for modern feminist ideals, yet her potential flight to a country with a reputation for strict gender roles and limited freedoms is surprising. Could it be that Zegler was not only trying to escape the intense scrutiny, but also strategically maneuvering to safeguard her finances? This contradiction between her public persona and her rumored actions paints a complex picture of a young star grappling with the consequences of her actions in an unforgiving industry. From the moment the film was announced, Rachel Zegler's comments about the original story and her portrayal of the iconic character sparked outrage. Many fans felt that her remarks were dismissive of the classic tale that had enchanted generations.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, the entire film's about a love story. It's about a love story because that's what the point of the film is, and I'm sorry that chivalry and a man pursuing you is now deemed as stalking, which now it's kind of making sense why men are opting out of the dating scene.
She's not going to be safe with the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
Hollywood insiders were quick to react, with executives reportedly distancing themselves from her as Disney canceled her media appearances.
They had to hire a special media consultant for her to follow her around all the time and make sure she didn't continue shitting on Snow White.
She's a smug big mouth, which even Disney now admits they couldn't control.
The backlash was swift and unforgiving, with social media lighting up with criticism. Zegler's comments about the film's modern take and her jabs at traditional narratives only fueled the fire, leading to a growing sentiment that she was out of touch with the very audience she was meant to engage.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Zegler's comments about the original story being outdated and her dismissive attitude toward the prince only added to the backlash. Many felt that her vision for Snow White was disconnected from what audiences wanted, a classic fairy tale that resonated with timeless themes of love and adventure. The film's attempt to modernize the story was seen as a betrayal of the original, leaving fans feeling alienated. This disconnect highlighted a broader issue within Hollywood: the challenge of balancing progressive storytelling with the nostalgia that audiences crave. As Zegler's comments echoed through social media, it became clear that the film's failure was not just about box office numbers, but also about a fundamental misunderstanding of its audience.
And this started with the movie star Rachel Zegler, who I believe would be categorized as a loudmouth film. The first animated film that had the kind of Disney magic that had depth, that had absolute, it was riveting, and it's based, of course, on a Brothers Grimm story.
It would have been almost impossible for this movie to succeed because you're comparing it to one of the most beloved films of all time and a truly groundbreaking movie. Snow White is the first American feature-length animated movie, 1937. It's one of the most beloved movies of all time.
In an attempt to quell the backlash, Zegler issued a scripted apology that many deemed insincere. Fans quickly dissected her words, comparing them to past PR scandals, and concluding that it lacked genuine emotion. The apology felt too clean, too scripted, and too corporate, like a memo rather than a heartfelt message. Instead of softening the backlash, it poured gasoline on the fire, as people were left feeling annoyed rather than moved. Behind the scenes, her team was reportedly divided on how to proceed. Some advocated for a bold comeback, suggesting that Zegler should own the moment and rebuild her brand with a fresh narrative. Others, however, believed it was time for her to lay low, vanish from the spotlight, and let the storm pass. This internal conflict mirrored the chaos surrounding her public image, as the once promising star now faced a full-blown crisis. The pressure to respond effectively weighed heavily on her, and the stakes had never been higher. Then came multiple reshoots and a scandal around the 7 dwarfs. Initially, they weren't in the movie, then they were added, then taken down again. Eventually, the 7 dwarfs were replaced by CGI gender-fluid magical creatures, leaving audiences angered and confused.
Remaking the movie, they just got rid of the dwarfs.
Okay, but what do they call them?
Why
now,
would they
too?
get rid of the dwarfs, though?
Magical creatures.
But they have one token dwarf amongst these magical creatures. You actually just went backwards. You actually just erased the dwarfism side of it. The disability, like we're a disability group, you just erase that whole image. The argument should have been from Peter Dinklage, there's power of being on TV, there's power of television, and to put 7 people with dwarfism on camera in a major Disney movie, there's still power there. If the story is offensive, change the story, don't change the characters.
As the film's release approached, Disney executives were in full panic mode. Reports indicated that the studio could face losses of up to $250 million, leading to emergency meetings to discuss Zegler's role in the film's failure. The pressure mounted as insiders hinted at potential legal actions and the possibility of enforcing morality clauses against her. Disney, a company known for its family-friendly image, found itself in a precarious position, trying to navigate the fallout from a film that was supposed to be a surefire hit. The stakes were high, and the studio's reputation hung in the balance as they scrambled to contain the damage. When Snow White finally hit theaters, the results were disastrous. While the Minecraft movie soared to box office success, Snow White barely made a dent. Critics panned it, and audiences stayed away in droves.
Got destroyed at the box office. Here's the box office numbers. The Minecraft movie made $60 million on Saturday. Snow White made 2.
Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends. That's how bad it is right now.
And now we're finding out that Snow White has officially crossed $160 million.
The stark contrast between the two films was undeniable, with Minecraft capturing the hearts of families while Snow White struggled to find its footing. The box office numbers told a grim story. While Minecraft raked in millions, Snow White barely managed to break even. This failure not only impacted Zegler, but also raised questions about Disney's ability to adapt its classic stories for modern audiences. As Rachel Zegler hides out in Dubai, the fallout from Snow White continues to unfold. The film that was supposed to be a triumphant return for Disney has instead become a cautionary tale about the dangers of straying too far from beloved narratives. With executives scrambling to salvage their reputation and Zegler's future hanging in the balance, one thing is clear: the landscape of Hollywood is shifting, and the consequences of this disaster will be felt for years to come. Will Zegler manage to rebuild her brand and reclaim her place in the industry? Or is this the end of her Hollywood dream? As the dust settles, fans are left to ponder the future of Disney and its approach to storytelling. What will they learn from this experience? And how will they navigate the delicate balance between modern sensibilities and the timeless magic that made them a household name? The contrast between Zegler's downfall and the success of the Minecraft movie serves as a stark reminder of what audiences truly want: authenticity, connection, and a celebration of the stories that have shaped their childhoods. As we reflect on this unfolding drama, it's clear that the road ahead for both Zegler and Disney will be fraught with challenges. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because I know you've got a lot to say. If you want more uncensored updates on Hollywood's biggest train wrecks and wildest celebrity drama, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. I'll catch you in the next one.